Your favorite penny shall be admitted to see the new manufacturer.
Stefan, how is your ale?
Peace, but it gets the job done. My father would be disgusted, but after a day's work with you, a man needs to unwind. I would prefer a nice bottle of wine, but these colonies lack refinement.
Your father?
Mon père, he was a great man. A cook in the French army during the 7 Years' War. He marched all across the White North, feeding Louis-Joseph de Montcalm and his officers, cooking them feasts from sticks and berries. When the commander-in-chief opted for open conflict over manning the battlements of Quebec, every man was called to arms, including my father. He died on the field, but I'm told he fought ferociously. It matters little. He's gone now.
He would be proud of you.
This is my one hope, that he smiles upon the choices I've made. Connor, do you have time to sit?
I do.
Good. I have been meaning to ask you, how did you come to all this?
I did not ask for it, but I feel it was meant to happen. I was just a boy when I met Achilles. He made me a warrior.
That easy. I miss the kitchen, if you can believe it. I had more control in that world than I ever will in the one we inhabit. But more people get to taste the fruit of my labor in this line of work, and for that, I am satisfied.
We may change things yet, if we press on.
Frenchmen from the north never grow weary. Just ask the women.
So you're the lad. Neighborhood could use more men of action like yourself.
My name is Connor.
That's a lovely name for a man from Wales. What's your real name?
Radohan Gedon.
A strong name. You should use it. Mine's Duncan. Plain as they come. If you've the time to spare, I'd urge you to keep on doing what you're doing. This infernal gang needs to be stopped. Your work is bearing fruit, my boy. And I'm close to figuring out who's orchestrating this ugly symphony. But something's got people spooked beyond the usual gang stuff. Odd. Anyway, keep on it.
Let's go now.
Piss off! This is military.
You are free of this.
Thanks, mister. You've a kind heart. I'm going home.
Thank you, thank you!
Ah, Connor! Your work precedes you. Now it's time to finish the job. I'm told this chap just materialized from the ether and nobody has a stones to, challenge him. Until now. But we'll need a gang of our own. Fight fire with fire.
About time we did something about those brutes. I want in.
Good on you. That's one for the lads. Come on, let's gather the rest.
Bar's closed. Get out!
He was a Templar.
What, like the Knights Templar? Jesus. I thought they were a spook story.
They are very real.
I'll take your word for it, lad. Well, it's been a real pleasure. If ever you need a hand in whatever it is you're up to, I'm your man. Oi, lad. How's it going then?
I am well. And you?
Oh, I can't complain. There was something I've been meaning to tell you. I met your dad. It was a long time ago, in London. I was just a boy. Well, didn't meet him really, just saw him do a fella in at the London Opera House. I was sitting in the balcony with an uncle of mine, went to have a piss, and when I came back, there's your dad. Dashing as they come he was, shirt, jacket, immaculate. My uncle was just slumped there. Looked like he was sleeping, but I knew better, even if I was only a child. Your dad locked eyes on me. And I don't think I've ever been so frightened as I was in that instant. It wasn't a fear that he was going to cause me pain. It was this sense that he saw right through me. into my heart, and he would crush it if it pleased him. But he didn't. He just raised his finger to his lips and gestured for my silence. I complied, and then he was gone.
That must have been in the days before his betrayal was made public. He would have sailed for the colonies not long after. I'm astonished that you were actually there.
You can imagine my surprise when I saw his face. Took me a while to piece it together, but there you have it. Thought you'd like to know.
Thank you. How are you faring?
And not bad, not bad. All this reminds me of being back in the old country. Fighting for land, fighting for the right to see God my way. Didn't take long before I realized the fight was futile, except aboard a ship bound for the colonies. People over there are so wrapped up in how you perceive the Lord, they forget we're all part of his flock. Stories change, Connor. The way people tell them evolves. It's no different in the Bible, and I believe that's the real root of all the strife back home. But nobody wants to listen to me. If you don't see it their way, you're a heathen. But I feel we're honestly making a difference here. That our presence is felt, if not appreciated by all. And it makes me sleep easy at night, and that's all a man can ask for, really.
I would like to visit your home country someday.
How would you know? You'd turn a head or two in the Emerald Isle, I'll tell you that. Maybe one day I'll muster up the courage, go back, I'll bring you with me. It'd be good for a laugh at any rate.
Don't mean to bother you, but I couldn't help but notice what you've done. Real good of you.
What is happening here?
Regulars have taken to conscribing the young ones round here. It's not right. I was thinking that maybe we could do some good together, if you had the time.
What would you have me do?
More of the same, actually. I got a plan cooking, but the folks need to know they've got someone to turn to. Find me when you're done.
Somebody stop that man!
Leave me be! I never agreed to be a soldier. Good of you to help, but these recruiters are relentless.
Welcome to the Regulars, the most feared, respected, and revered fighting force on God's green earth. Some of you are here by choice, others not. Regardless of the circumstances of your joining us, you are all brothers now. And the only way you have a chance of surviving is if you trust your brothers. One weak link can kill a whole squad on the field. I want you to think about that long and hard.
That's one of them that's responsible for this. Rounding up the young ones and shipping them off. We need to put an end to it.
What is your plan?
Kill him, then the rest, and set all them boys free?
It's a good plan, but it lacks detail. How is your aim with that rifle?
Can pop a muskrat's head from a quarter mile 9 times out of 10, and the 10's a misfire.
That should do. Cover me from up there.
A lot of you will be getting on that ship and setting off for a different sort of training. Understand? You've been selected, not for your talents or fighting prowess, but because of the way you think. You will soon find out what all this...
We assassins strive for peace through freedom, and the Templars, they want only to control.
Well, I'm for freedom, I know that much. If your order needs a good rifle, sign me up.
You do not partake?
No, sir. I need to stay sharp in case you call upon my rifle. Spirits do me in right quick. Drank half a flask of rum out in the bush with my brothers a few years back. I went for a run in the buff before I found myself rolling around in deer scat being sick all over. I don't want to go there again. No, thank you.
Smart choice, given the circumstances.
I want to fight like you someday.
You have everything it takes to be a great assassin.
And that means something coming from you.
Where did you learn to shoot like you do?
ranging with my dad and brothers in Virginia country. My family's been surveying and prospecting out there since my grandpappy.
How did you end up here?
I'm the youngest of 4 brothers. I was always gonna be a runner-up with them, so I set off alone to do my own business. Out west of Ohio's territory that no man of the colonies ever trodden. I figured I could find contracts out of New York. Then the war started.
And you sided with the Patriots?
Not really. My family's for the king. I just don't like seeing boys forced to fight against their will is all. But I know that I want to be free. For all to be free. If that means I'm a patriot, I guess I am.
You are an assassin. Nothing else.
That I am. I'm proud of it.
Might I have a word? Name's Dobby Carter. Couldn't help but notice you're getting involved in the goings-on in our borough. Thought we might be of service to each other.
What is happening here?
Ever since the war kicked off, merchants have been demanding high prices for the good of the cause. Profiteering is what that is. It's high time the folks round the way got a fair shake.
How can I help?
That easy. That's a change. Set these up nearby when you get a chance. It's part of a bigger plan I got. Come see me when you're done. While you were putting a stop to this madness, I was sniffing out who's responsible.
His tactics are familiar to me.
Is that right? Well, don't know who the man is, but he's not for Patriots nor British. He's got a fortified camp built around the main water supply in the area. All the seized crops, all the meat, everything is being moved there, then resold at dizzying prices.
How do we get in?
I got some local men ready to get in on the fight. He was a madman?
Not mad. Beguiled by a set of dangerous but attractive ideals.
Is that right? And who exactly are you?
Someone who seeks to relieve men like him of their power.
And after seeing what you can do, I'll leave it at that. But if you ever need an extra blade, I'll stand by you. How'd you do, Connor?
I am all right. And you?
It's nice to be a part of something. Until now, I was sort of drifting about the neighborhood, getting irate when I saw things I thought unjust. Sometimes I'd intervene, other times I would come here. Now, I feel like all my energy's pointed at something.
I am grateful to have your help. How did you come to be... you?
Funny question, but I get your meaning. I was an orphan. Pretty common around the ports with all the sailors and whores mucking about. I wanted to be out on my own, so I did what I had to do. That's when I decided to pretend to be a boy. That worked for a time, until nature decided otherwise and it just became a bad joke. Folks around the borough still called me Dobby, but the old codgers started leering and getting fresh. That's when I got tough. Took a good many shots to the face before I learned to defend myself properly. But now I dare any man to come at me. They learn their price quick.
Hello, Dobby.
Connor, you look well.
I have been better.
Do you ever sleep? I really don't know how you do it.
I try not to think about it.
A strong man. Stronger than any I've ever met. How is it a man like you has no wife?
I do not have the time to give a woman what she deserves. Perhaps when all this is over, I will be able to settle and have a family. I hope.
Of all the lecherous and deceitful men out there who have fathers, you'd be a godsend. But I suppose that's how it is. The good ones are too busy for it, and the louts have nothing better to do. In any case, if you ever think it's time, make sure I get the first crack.
I promise.
So you're the man taking up arms in our part of the city. Glad to be hearing it.
The military seems to be controlling this area.
Yeah, martial law has been declared. For what purposes, I do not know, but there is not a need. I do what I can, but it is hard.
I may be able to help.
Very well. I need information on the man responsible for this. He has men all over the place. Corrupt redcoats. Maybe you can get them to talk. We were just discussing the result of your work. It seems these military men are after you.
I have caught their attention.
It does make our goals harder to achieve. The man we're after has gone into hiding, protected by his soldiers.
We fight our way in then.
Not possible, even for a man of your abilities. But I have another, less conventional idea. You will be our prisoner, and we shall present you for the bounty.
People, bear witness to what happens to rebels in my part of New York. These men defied the curfew set in place for your safety. They assaulted His Majesty's soldiers and conspired against the authority of the military. Such blatant disregard for the protocols, designed to protect the citizens of New York, will be punished by death. We seek not to control you, to oppress you. We seek only to ensure your safety in the face of conflict and aggression. The civilians of New York must be protected at all costs.
That man, he thought what he was doing was right.
He did, as do his brothers.
Who was he really?
There are powerful organizations who seek control, nothing more. This man belonged to one.
It does not surprise me. I don't know who you are, but if you should need my help, I am happy to give it. Ah, Connor! Sit, sit!
How are you, Jacob?
Missing the beer gardens back home, but I'm well.
How did you arrive in the colonies?
Like most other men like me, the army. I was a Hessian for a time. It was a good job while I had it. I only felt it was time for something different once I arrived. Not long after, I am meeting you, so it seems my feeling was useful, no?
Certainly.
I am hoping to send for my family when the time is right. But we are fighting a war of our own, and I will not put them at risk.
Hopefully, things will die down soon.
No rush, Connor. I am in their hearts, and they are in mine. I received a letter from home.
What news?
My son is the strongest boy in our village, standing tall and proud. My heart grows heavy for them now, and my patience wanes for bringing them across the ocean. I have sent money for passage, war or no war.
We will keep them safe from the fighting when they arrive.
I'm having no doubts about this. My worry is now the crossing itself. Many miles overland to a port in France. There they must be purchasing safe passage aboard a ship coming to the colonies. Then they must brave the voyage itself. Many risks.
Your son can lead them. You said yourself he is strong and capable.
My son? Ha! No matter how strong he grows, he will never be as strong as my wife, Wilhelmina. is the most able person I've ever met. Else I would not have left them. It is more matters of fortune that trouble me. Storms, pirates.
These are things none can control. But I am sure if pirates try and take their ship, Wilhelmina and your boy will make the brigands rue their decision.
Yes. Yes, you're right.
At least you're no beast like most of these people. Anybody who's immune has already fled. Cowards.
And who are you?
Jamie Colley. You need to keep doing what you're doing. Nobody else is. If we both get after it, we might be able to quell this monster of a disease.
I will do what I can.
I'll be lending a hand to these doctors. Find me once you think you've done enough, and maybe we can do more. About time you showed up.
What are you doing?
I mean to start my inoculations. It's the most effective way to prevent the disease.
Not a worry. A pity people are so damn stupid. Hey, Connor. What's wrong with you?
An attack is coming. Are you ready for a fight?
Always. You tell me where you want me and I'll make sure not a single man gets through.
The assassins have long since branched out across the globe. The colonies are no exception. The man you killed was a Templar.
And here I was thinking you were helping me. I must say, I'm honored. If you ever need my help again, don't hesitate.
Thirsty, I take it?
What's wrong with taking a draught or two when the time's right?
Nothing, Jamie. Nothing.
Then why don't you join me then?
Not right now. Maybe later.
I suppose you got important business to attend to. I understand. Don't worry about me, though. I can handle my boost. If you need me, I'll be there, Connor. Hey, Connor.
Taking it easy today?
Things got a little out of hand the last time you saw me. Keeping an even keel.
Good. Where are you from?
Yeah. Born and raised, but I'm a mutt, if that's what you're really asking. Think I even got a little of the Far East in my blood. That's what my father said, wherever that bastard got off to.
What about your mother?
She's down south. Haven't seen her in 5 years or so. She works on a plantation, keeping care of the slaves. Slaves. That's why I left. Can't support that business. Owning a human isn't something any man should do. She doesn't agree, so I leave her to it. I make my life up here now. I'm an assassin. This is my family.